question is, how do you go from little to no education, um, no certifications, and no experience to start your own business? That's the answer. That's the question we have to hear on Never Get a Job. What we do is we build a legacy. I'm Auntie Dawn. Join me and start building your legacy so you can live that fabulous lifestyle. Today I'm going to focus on fear, because I think fear plays a big part in people not making that leap into starting their own business. I heard a long time ago from, I think the first person I heard say it was Zig Ziglar. He said that fear is an acronym for force evidence appearing real. And I think I've heard people make a whole bunch of different acronyms for it, but I think that one nails it. It's like spot on, because that's exactly what fear is. Fear is false evidence appearing real. So a lot of times people, when you start talking to them about starting their own business, they have this fear factor, like, oh, I'd rather get a job because at least on a job, I'm guaranteed a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks, or however you get paid, usually a week or 2 weeks. So they see that as a sure thing. Like, I'm definitely going to get a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks. But if I start my own business, I might not get a paycheck every week, every 2 weeks. So they have that fear that they're going to lose out on something if they don't have a job, because that's the way they've been programmed to do. Let me tell you, fear is just programming. If you a person who, especially if you're a person who watch the news is designed to put fear in you, because if you can put a person in fear, you can actually control them. You control their thoughts and control their process. And people who run the world understand that. They understand the mind. They've observed it. They've studied it. They know exactly how it works. Everything is kind of controlled by your mind. And if they can put you in a position where you're fearing, because love and fear are the two strongest emotions. And if they can get you to fear something, they can control you. Prime example is stuff that's going on right now with the thing that's going around. 97% of the people in the world have not caught this. 3% of the people in the world have, and some percentage of those people have passed away from more likely hospitals and their procedures than anything else. But people are in fear. They're walking around in fear of something that they have a 97% chance of never catching because the news have put fear in their head for so long. Like, if you watch the news, people be fearful of life, like, oh, it's crime happening. I gotta be careful how I walk outside. I'm 56 years old. I've been walking around freely for 56 years. Well, since I could walk, maybe 55 years, I don't know. I had one incident in my entire life where I witnessed a crime. Somebody mugged me one time in my life. And it was crazy. I'll tell you a story. I had just moved into this neighborhood just like 2 days. And I was working in New York at the time. And I lived in New Jersey. I was coming home from work and I had worked overtime. It wasn't late. It was summertime. So it was still light outside. It was probably about 8 or 8:30, but it was still sunny outside because it was night. It was summertime. And I'm walking down, like literally walking down the street in front of going right to my house. I can see my house. And somebody came behind me and put their finger in my back. And I could tell it was a finger. They was pretending it was a gun, but it was a finger. So I thought somebody was playing a joke. So if somebody I knew run up to me. So I turned around. I was tired because I had worked overtime. And I was carrying 2 bags. One had my shoes in it because I was wearing my sneakers. And one was my pocketbook. And the person put their finger in my back. And when I turned my head to look, they like pushed my head to the front. So I was like, look, who playing? I'm tired. I worked overtime. Like, who's this? I'm like playing. Every time I go to look back, he kept pushing my face. But I could see he was laughing because I guess I wasn't believing I was getting mugged. So then he grabbed my pocketbook. So then we was fighting. Like, I had a skirt on, a suit. But we was tossing at it. And the only reason he got my bag because the strap popped. Like, he was tugging on one and I had this part with the strap on it. So I was holding like this and I was punching, I was kicking because I had fallen down at some point. So I was kicking, I was just kicking him and punching. They found him, and when they found him, I had beat him up because he had scars and marks on his face. But anyway, so that was the only time in my life I got, I ever witnessed a crime. But if you watch TV or watch the news in particular, you would think that, you walk out the house, somebody's ready to mug you, somebody ready to rape you, somebody ready to kill you. You got to be careful. Oh my God. But if we think logically, in 56 years, I've never witnessed it. I've never seen a bank robbery. I've never seen nobody get killed. I've never seen. Now, I'm not saying some people will never see that. Some people will, but they may see one thing like that in their life or two at the most. If you're a person seeing 3 or 4 crimes, then maybe you're a criminal and you surrounding yourself by that. You're attracting that to your life because you live in a criminal life. But you don't see that. But the TV will have you in fear of that type of thing. And that's what they do when they try to put you in fear of getting your own job. That's what school is designed to program you to get a job. And that's because there are certain families. So a lot of people don't really understand how the world really works. They don't understand how it really operates. I'm not talking about the facade that is given to us on TV or in the movies. I'm talking about in the real world, how it really works. Most people have never taken the time to think or deprogram from the programming to really figure out how the world really works. And there's certain families who have been given authority to pretty much control the world. So if you think about it, all of the big businesses are named like families, like the Hiltons, that's a family. McDonald's, that's a family. Although they was gypped out of their business, if that's the true story. But Walmart, that's a family. See, these are families that's in control of a lot of things in this world. And they're designing you or creating you to work for them to build their legacies. That's it. And we just been programmed to get a job, but really because they can't say, go get a job and build our legacy. Don't build yours, build our legacy. Because you wouldn't do it. Nobody would do that. So you want to start building your own legacy. You got to start, deciding that you want to create your own legacy. And the only way to do that is to start your own business. But you got to get out of that fear mode. You got to stop letting fear traumatize you and keep you stuck. Once you get past that fear, once you start realizing that fear is false evidence appearing real, it's nothing like if you don't try something, you don't know what can happen. And that's why I always say the best business to get into me is in a network marketing business. It's only because, well, for a lot of reasons, really. But one, is not a huge investment. You can get in some business. I'm in a network marketing business. You can get in as low as $100. You can get in the door. Like you can't come up with $100 invested in the business, then you really need to start keep working. And actually, you need to be in the business because something ain't right if you don't have $100 to invest. And with the business I'm in, you got options between $100 and $1,200, depending on how much you really want to invest yourself and make money back real quick. So it doesn't really cost a lot of money to get in a network marketing business. That's why I think it's a good investment. Or one of the better business models as far as when it comes to, running your own business. And also because you're not in business by yourself. Like you don't have to figure anything out. They figured it all out for you. You have partners instantly who they benefit by helping you to benefit. You understand what I'm saying? Like the business model that is built on is really kind of phenomenal because it's a business of people helping other people. That most businesses don't help other people. Most businesses help themselves. But it is in my best interest to help you because if I help you grow your business, my business grows. If I don't help you grow, if I don't help you grow your business, then my business don't grow. I don't benefit off of helping you grow your business. So to me, that's the best thing. Is even though it's like it's a win-win situation. That's what it is. That's why it's important that I help you win because that's the only way I win. If I move and you move, when I go up, you go up. So that when you go up, I go up. So I got to help you come up in order for me to go up. You understand? So that's why people invest in you. People invest in making sure that your business is successful. That's why I think network marketing is one of the better business models. Not only that, but you quickly can get residual income or passive income work off of other. You get leverage because you're working you get paid off for what other people are doing also. So if you built a big enough business, you could continuously get paid without, working. That's the point. You want to build a business so that it becomes easier for you. That if you work, not saying that it's an easy thing to do, you're going to have to work for it. You have to work hard for at least a year or two, but even up to 7 years. But if you still work on your job for 7 years, you haven't built anything. So, but fear is the thing that holds most people back. So this is what I want you to start doing to eliminate that fear in your life. Think about what it is that you're fearful of. Really think what is holding you back. What part of this fear that you're what is holding you back, making you fearful? And then actually break it down. Like, is this real, or is this imagined, or is this thoughts that people put in my head? What is the realness of it? Because usually when you really break it down, there's no real evidence. It's only false evidence that appears to be real. It's an appearance of being real, but there's nothing concrete to show you what you're fearful of. I remember when I was little, my mother used to watch soap operas, and she used to tell us that, soap operas for grown-ups. You can't watch these soap operas. So it was like, if she was watching her soap operas and we was in a room, we had to, you couldn't watch the TV. You had to leave the room, or you had to plug your ears up. You couldn't look at the TV because, soap operas is for grown-ups, not for kids. That was the type of thing she trained us on. So I remember one time, when you start telling people, we can't watch this, you can't see this, you be trying to sneak and watch it, right? So I remember one time I came home from lunch. My school was around the corner, like literally down the street from the house. So a lot of times for lunchtime, when I was in grammar school, I would come home for lunch. I remember one time I came home for lunch and she was watching something, her soap operas. And I could see it and I could hear it, and I was watching it. And on this particular soap opera, I don't remember what it was, but this lady came in her bedroom and a man came out from under the bed and he put his hand around her mouth and he was saying, shh, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. I don't know if they knew each other. I don't know anything about it, but that scared me. Like, one, I wasn't supposed to be watching this grown-up show. And then I watched it and some man came out from under this lady's bed. So now I'm petrified. So every night, I kid you not, I would get to my door, I would cut the light on in my bedroom, but I was scared to go in because I thought some man was going to jump out from under the bed because I was watching something I wasn't supposed to be watching. I seen this and now I'm fearful of it. So I would when I would cut a light off, I would jump from the door into the bed because I was scared to come in that room for a long time. I couldn't tell nobody because that would mean I would have to admit that I was watching the soap opera and I seen it. So I just was jumping to bed and was scared for a long time. Then one day I just grew up, I guess, or looked under the bed and seen it was nothing under there. And then I was like, that's crazy. But that's what it was. I was fearful of something that there was no evidence that was real. But as a kid, I was fearful of it. It was real to me. It was real that there's a possibility that there's a man under my bed who's going to jump out and put his hand around my mouth and tell me to be quiet. But see, that's how illogical fear is. That's how, there's no backing behind anything when you're fearful of it. In fact, the Bible tells us that the Most High has not given us the spirit of fear. Now, that means that fear is coming from some other place and it's coming from an evil place. So if you haven't been given a spirit of fear, you're taking on fear from something else. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Fear is what people are using to program you to be under control. My mother used fear of watching soap operas to keep us under control, to stop us from watching it. She didn't feel that it was appropriate for children. So she put fear in our minds about watching. To be honest, to this day, I've never watched a soap opera. Like, I just never watched it. I'm grown and could watch it if I can, but I just never ever watched a soap opera because of the way I was brought up. Like, was bad and scary and fearful. So when the one time I got an opportunity to watch it and did, it put fear in my heart. I saw something that put fear in my mind. It was false evidence, but it appeared real to me, and it was part of a controlling system. And that's pretty much what fear is. So if you're fearing the fact that you want to start a business, but you're afraid of doing it because you're fearful of not being successful, or you're fearful of not getting a steady paycheck, then start small. That's another reason why I would say about network marketing, because you can do it part-time, like while you're still on your job and you're still getting that paycheck, so you don't feel like, oh my God, I gotta feed my family. You can still get your regular paycheck and spend about 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day or 4 hours a day after work, after you're home, and work on your business. But you need to work on something. I don't care what it is. You need to work on something, because you have to start building that legacy. We are legacy builders. You never need a job. You need to start focusing on creating wealth for yourself and not for other people. I'm Auntie Dawn. That's it for the day. I thank you for being here. I love you, love you, love you. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.